Hey, it's Chico, and in today's video, I want to teach you how to get your first ad up and running on Facebook so you can find motivated sellers and you can find yourself some deals without having to deal with all that other mumbo jumbo stuff that is either illegal or outdated. What am I talking about? Specifically, if you are doing ringless voicemail, which I don't think you should be doing ringless voicemails because I said in the previous video that you're on the line in terms of getting yourself in trouble. There's some services that allow you to text blast a bunch of people. I don't think that that's something that you should be doing also. And you know, direct mail is tough right now. It's almost impossible. How many times do I speak with real estate investors that tell me that they are spending money and money and money and they just can't seem to get anywhere with direct mail? And this is coming from someone that pretty much pioneered the whole direct mail and 24-hour recorded messages. In fact, let me show you something. All right, let me show you something. You see that postcard right there? The third notice postcard? I created that postcard. You might have seen that on some websites. I saw that the other day on one of those websites that they print postcard for real estate investors. And I'm like, wait a second, that's my card. It's okay. I'm not going to hold it against them. Let me show you another one. Have you seen this one here? Property notification card. Yes, that's right. Guaranteed to get you lots of calls, maybe even featured in the local news. That's an inside joke, maybe. Here's another one. This is my original postcard. I call it my attention postcard. It was one of the first postcards that had a tremendous amount of text. You know, everybody was sending out postcards that said, "We buy houses cash, etc., blah, blah, blah." And that one there broke the record. They broke the mold. But guess what? They don't work that well anymore. Why? Well, because people like me decided, hey, maybe create a course on postcards. And then now all of a sudden it just goes nutty. And now everybody's sending out postcards. And you know, anytime you have a real estate investor, anytime you have a real estate trainer go out and have a seminar, the first thing they say is, hey, you should go get a postcard and mail it to absentee owners. So, hey, you could do that if you want to, be like everybody else, or you can be like Chico. Let me put this back here on the stand. You can be like Chico and do something different, which is motivated sellers on Facebook. Let's get to it. I got places to go and I got people to see. All right, here's what we got. Number one, and I'm going to walk through this rather quickly. I would like for you to ask me questions here. So if you have questions, I want you to ask them here as a comment, and I will go back and and either answer them or I will do another video answering your questions. How about that? All right, here we go. Number one, setting up your business page. That's the first step. When you set up your business page on Facebook, well, you know what? I forgot something. I'm assuming the fact that you know this, but I'm going to go back to this. The first thing is really, you got to go to business.facebook.com, and you're going to set up a business manager account. And inside of that business manager account is where you're going to run your ads. You don't want to run ads from your personal account. I almost missed that part. Now, next. Now, you know what I would love is for you guys that are watching this video, if I say any links or anything like that, make a comment with that link on there. It'll help the other people that are here. So let's talk about your business page. Your business page is your presence on Facebook, and you need a business page in order to do ads. Now, investors make the mistake of doing business pages that say, you know, XYZ Homes or cash for your house, you know, whatever the name is of your business. And we have found through a lot of testing that those don't do that well. They really do very poorly. And what does work really well is something like, say, Cris buys houses. So let me show you the screen again. I'm really going low tech here. I didn't want to, I'm not really great. It takes a lot of time to get these things like to come in from the video, like from this side or that side. So I'm just doing it old school like this. See that where it says Cris buys houses? And it has my picture there. Where is it? Right there, the picture right there. That's how you want to come across. So create a business page, mark buys houses, make sure that your name, make sure that your picture is on that page just like that, okay? And that's how you want to come across to your clients. Now, do you need a website? yes, you do need a website, because even though you're using the business, we have the business page, we're going to be using lead forms inside of Facebook, but we're still needing to have a website because for a couple of different reasons. You're going to talk to the sellers, and it's easier for you to call a seller and say, hey, this is Chris from whatever the website is, the company name is, versus just saying, hey, I'm just an investor, a local investor, and you don't have a website. Now, in terms of a website, should you have a website, say, that says Chris Buys Houses? No, you shouldn't. You don't need to. Like, for example, I have a website that's sellyourfloorthehometoday.com. So that website is an on-cared site, and that's our preferred vendor. I'll put that in the description here as well. So that website it's different than, say, Chris Buys Houses. It's perfectly okay that they don't match like that. But for the Facebook, I want you to create a page that says, say, for example, Mark Buys Houses, and then the website could be whatever you want. However, don't make the website, some people make the websites like this really weird, like CBJ Homes, Inc., or CBJ Properties, or whatever the name you want to select. I think that's a bad idea. My recommendation is create a website that clearly states and articulates to the person that you're on the other line with, say on a phone call, what you do, how you do it potentially, and it doesn't require them to spell it. So as an example, if I was doing deals in Georgia, so your Georgia home today. Hey, my name is Chris. I was returning your call. I'm with sellyourgeorgiahometoday.com. How's it going? They hear that and they're like, oh, you have a website? Oh, sellyourfloorthehometoday.com. Okay, got it. Yes, I know what you do. Perfect. If you go CBJ Inc. Properties and they're like, what is that? You know, so I would say is, I got a little message there. I would say is use a website name that is going to, again, clearly articulate to that individual what you do. That's my opinion. Now, does the website have to match your company name specifically? No, not really. So if you are CBJ Homes Inc., then you could have, you know, Mark Buys Houses, and then you could have your website be sellyourmontanahometoday.com, and then when you write up a contract, you put it under CBJ Properties. And if the seller asks you, say, you know, that's our website, but this is a company that we do our funding with, and that's the company that we put on the website. That's my recommendation. Hopefully that makes all sense there. Also include in that page over here, include some images of you. And again, make sure that you're using a personal photo of you. Don't put a picture of a house. If it's Mark Buys Houses, put a picture of you, Mark, right? Showing you. If you have got kids, put your kids so it looks like you're a human being and you care. So next thing is we're going to be using Facebook's own internal lead forms. My recommendation is to do a lead generation campaign. And what that means is that instead of you sending traffic to your website, you're going to send traffic to a Facebook lead form. I have found that that is the easiest way to get started. I have found that that is by far the best way to start generating leads on Facebook for both buyers and sellers, but we're talking about sellers here. And yes, later on, you can do the landing pages. But in the beginning, I don't recommend landing pages to begin with. I recommend using lead forms to get you going. Now, you're going to run campaigns, you're going to have success, then you can start advertising using the landing pages for a different variety of different campaigns, but it's not something I recommend in the beginning. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know this or not, but I run the largest real estate private real estate group, private real estate Facebook group for real estate investors that are specifically currently working using Facebook ads for motivated sellers. The biggest and the best. We got some major players. I don't want to say who's in there, but there's guys that you would recognize just because you see them on Facebook, etc. And however, though, to be a member, you got to be one of my clients, one of my customers. So check out one of the links below if you're interested. The benefit of the group is that as you're implementing this material, you are able to bouncing things off of me here, be able to get advice from other members, see what other members are doing, etc. And it's going to help you tremendously as you're implementing this material. Now, let's talk about So again, we're going to use a website. We need a website for credibility anyway. And we're going to use a business page that's more personal in nature. Then we are going to use Facebook's own internal lead form so that you don't have to send people to your website in order to collect the lead. Now, the next thing is as simple as a CRM. And this is the thing that really holds people back a lot. So if my opinion is you want to keep things as simple as possible. What does that mean? That means that you want to have the simplest form of CRM. So what's the simplest form of CRM? The simplest is sending the leads to your email. So creating a Gmail account. And if you're going to create a Gmail account, I would recommend creating a Gmail account that you're always going to be using when you're emailing back and forth with the sellers. So it could be, say, for example, if I have sell your Georgia home today, just create a Gmail account, sell your Georgia home today, and that's it. So use that as a Gmail account, and then send all your leads all the leads that come from Facebook, push them into that Gmail account, and then you can create some labels. You know, new, anything new is always in the inbox. Then you have follow-up, then you have all these, the leads in there, and you can keep track of them there. That's the simplest way, right? Another tool that you can use is Trello, Trello. Somebody can put that in the description, Trello. And Trello is a great tool. You can use that as a CRM, again, just to keep track of your leads. The benefit to Facebook ads is, unlike if you're gonna do like a gazillion postcards, which if you're doing direct mail, you have to send out, 2,000, 3,000 postcards a week to have any meaningful results. So that's gonna generate a lot of calls and a lot of ruckus. So, so it's difficult to keep things simple when you're doing direct mail. However, because we're only generating a handful of leads every single day, then we're able to use something much simpler. So I recommend using Trello because that's a simple CRM that you can use to get you up and running. And all you need is just a way to organize the leads. Yeah, it doesn't have like fancy this or that. You push this button, then that happens, and this, then all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you don't need any of that. I find that most people end up wasting a lot of time, energy, and effort in, with all these tools. And making sure that they all work together, and in the end you're losing sight of the most important thing, which is you got to talk to real estate. You got to talk to homeowners, and if you don't talk to homeowners, and if you're busy around fiddling around with your CRM, you're wasting your time. Another solution could be Google Sheets. And these are all rudimentary. They're all no money. Like, there's not going to require any money. Because the other challenge is this. Look, if you're going to spend $200 a month or $300 a month between the CRM and the phone system and all that other stuff, that could be spent toward ads, and you could be running ads as opposed to doing that. And so you have to think of it in terms of that every single penny that you have available should go toward generation of leads. Every single penny. And so anything that you spend that is unnecessary, then it's taking away from your progress in order to find your first deal. That's my opinion. Next, what we're going to do, then, let's say you set up your business page, you are going to use the lead forms, you are going to just keep it simple with a CRM, are going to take your leads and send them over to your CRM, to your email or to a Trello board, right? Then the next thing is figuring out how you're going to target. Now, if you watch any of my videos before, we target using zip codes. We have in my membership area and in the group, we have like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 different campaigns that we have. However, we always start off with the first type of campaign being the zip code ads and the zip code targeting. That's the one that gets everybody the most results. That's the one that everybody gets up and running with quickly. And that's the one that many people, even though they're advanced and they sprinkle in all these other campaigns, at the end, those zip code targeted ads still work amazingly well. So here's what you're going to do, is you're going to go and look at 2 videos that I have on selecting the best zip codes for targeting. And those videos are meant to be for direct mail, but the same principle applies. You're going to look at to see which zip codes have the most investor activity. You're going to select those zip codes, and those are the ones that you're going to target first. You're going to select, say, the top 10, the top 15. You're not going to run all 15. Just start with 2 or 3. You want to start with 2 or 3. to get yourself up and running that you can now generate leads from those 2 or 3. And then what you're going to do is you're going to systematically rotate through those other zip codes. And then what will happen is you'll end up with about a solid 7 zip codes that are going to be producing you leads. The way that you're going to be targeting is a little bit different than what most people recommend. And that is because what I have found is most people try and artificially push Facebook into what they believe is the right person. And you have to allow Facebook to find the right people in that particular zip code. So when we target that zip code, we don't put any sort of interest, we don't put any sort of demographics. All we do, and the reason we don't do that is because the zip code is too small. If you were targeting the entire area, now you have to maybe start putting in some interest. But when we're talking about zip code targeting, we're targeting that small area. So the only thing that we put in terms of demographic targeting is the age. That's it. Then we, and of course, we on the geographic, we put the zip code as the main geographic targeting, but that is it. The other tip that I'm going to give you is that we are going to go ahead and select only the news feed for advertising on Facebook when we're running these ads. We're not going to select the audience network, we're not going to select Messenger, not going to select Instagram. There are instances and different campaigns where those particular placements will work, but in general, we don't want to do that because in the end, you're just going to end up wasting your money and not get anywhere with that. Finally, we're going to give each of these zip codes a budget of $15 to $20 a day. So how long do you give a zip code before you decide that, you know what, it's not producing leads, I got to fix something in this? So the rule of thumb I give people is you're going to generate, you want to be able to generate 50 leads. And if the average cost per lead is $35, and that's $1,500 that you'll spend on Facebook ads in order to generate a deal. So now if you only say have $15 budget for a zip code and you run it one day and then you haven't gotten a lead in certain markets, then it's okay if you let it run another day. And if the second day you finally get a lead, then you spend $30. That's not a bad number because in certain markets, you know, if you're going to do direct mail, you're going to spend upwards of $70, $80, $100 a lead. Just because you run an ad for $15 and it ran for one day and it didn't generate any leads doesn't mean that it's not going to generate leads the second day, and then it's going to catch and you're going to have other leads come in throughout the time that the ad is running. So you have to be flexible with that. Keep in mind is the same principle as like if you were to do a direct mail campaign, you wouldn't send out 50 postcards and then throw your hands up in the air and say, well, I didn't get hardly any calls for those 50, or I didn't get anything viable sending out 50 postcards. I'm not going to do that anymore. No, you realize that I didn't send out enough. So you have to be willing to spend enough with Facebook, just like you would with any other marketing channel, in order to give it the gas it needs in order to be able to make it work. Now, in terms of the ad that you should be running, that's my ad. I call it my digital bandit sign ad. So if you see anybody mentioning the digital bandit sign or showing that kind of ad, I'm the one that created it. You tell me about it. You let me know who they are. We'll get them. That's the ad. I'm going to put a link also in the description that you can get a copy of that ad, and I also have a video training on showing you how and why that ad works so well. And that's the ad that you should begin with, and it works really, really well. So look, this video isn't meant to be an all-inclusive video that is going to walk you through every step of the way. We would need a lot more time. What I'm trying to do is give you a framework that if you are considering to try this, and you know that I at least direct you in a way that you're going to have a chance of succeeding. Obviously, if you get involved with us in our training, then, you know, hey, we can help you much better, because now you're going to have every single piece of information you need, plus all the help and support you need. However, just keep in mind, just to recap, a business page, we're gonna, I talked to you about how to name that business page, how to name the domain names, the internal lead forms you're gonna use for Facebook to collect the seller information, the CRM, just keep things simple, and then use my videos to narrow down the zip codes to the ones that have the most investor activity. Target those first, start with 2 or 3, $15 to $20 a day. Make sure that you use my ad over here, and you know, let me know what other type of videos maybe you'd like for me to do about digital marketing. I find that there's just so many possibilities with what we can do here with Facebook, and I'd love to hear more from you. Let me know if you found this video helpful. Maybe you've heard it before. Maybe it's a good recap for you. And remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.